Hey everybody, my name is Marcus Brooks. I'm a licensed CPA here in Texas. I've been in accounting for roughly 13 years, been doing taxes for almost 10, hard to believe. Do a little bit of everything in regards to consulting, tax prep, business consultations, financial planning, projections. So anything and everything, it's a one-stop shop. So regular accountant and or tax prep prepare, the difference is you get that sense of stability, that security. As a licensed CPA, 9 times out of 10, you have to have X amount of years of schooling as well as hours for the state. I was in school for roughly 10 years, so by having those credentials and licensed and passing the state exam, you have the peace of mind knowing that you have a professional that's not going to do something to potentially screw you over that might come back and bite you. When it comes to the hospitality industry, man, it's always changing. Always new event spaces open up, always new bars, restaurants, lounges. So the individuals that you work with, they all come from different backgrounds. So the reason I bring up my company as Versatile Tax Services is because you have to be able to change with the times. When tax code changes, when businesses change, when employers change, you always kind of need something to be able to be versatile and go with the flow. When it comes to financial planning and tax prep in regards to the industry, it's very important. It's nothing to see a mom and pop shop go to $1 million company in a very short period of time. So I always say it's better to be ready than to have to get ready. You don't want to wake up tomorrow and be in a situation to where you don't know where to start, where to begin, where to organize things, who to even trust with your financials. So if that's the case, I always recommend have a game plan before you take on that endeavor. A lot of mistakes that I see is not reporting your income. I always tell people, and I'm trying to change the narrative, it's not a bad thing to report your income. Eventually you're going to need a business loan, line of credit, personal side, you might want to purchase a home or even a rental property. So if you don't report your income, even if it's untaxed tips in that aspect, it's something that you really need to look into because you don't want it to come back and cause a problem on the back end. I think a lot of things individuals in the industry overlook is probably mileage. A lot of times you might think that picking up your gas as an expense is the best way to go about it. It's not. Honestly, the IRS is actually pretty favorable if you just pick up your mileage. It changes year over year and it adjusts for inflation. So definitely look into mileage rather than just putting your gas receipts down because you're probably missing out on some deductions. For me, if you want to make a change from being a sole proprietor to actually establishing an LLC, depends on timing. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, so I'd recommend when you get to that point to where you actually want to establish yourself, you actually want to set yourself aside from your social security number, go on, set up your LLC with the state wherever you're located at, and then by doing that, you get an EIN from the IRS. It keeps it completely separate, and then once you take care of that, you can potentially go down the road of establishing business credit and removing everything from your personal social security. The main key is liability. Anytime that you have a business or profession that is potentially liable for something, you've seen plenty of times to where you might overserve somebody or there's a situation of that sort. If you have it separate with your LLC, they can only come after anything that you have under the business rather than your personal assets as well. So when it comes to keeping everything organized as far as income and expenses, when it comes to side gigs, 1099, contract work, it's definitely necessary to keep track of it, maybe Excel or maybe even QuickBooks. It just depends on how far along you are. If you need help with that, you probably have more money than time, so I definitely recommend reaching out to a professional or myself. We can help keep that organized for you and get you back on the road. So for me, if you want to reinvest your profits, it's definitely a good idea. Now you will have to most likely pay some tax. There's always ways to mitigate that, but based on the tax that you will pay, it might not be as much as you think, but if you're able to insert that money back into the company, grow it, maybe double it in size within the next year or two, it's definitely worth giving Uncle Sam a little bit of change. A strategic tool such as tax planning for your business, you can stay ahead of the curve. You don't want to get to December, November at the end of the year and say, hey, I have all this money, all I have to do now is give to the IRS. No, if you can do some projections, forecasting, and be forward thinking, you can have an idea of what you want to do for the coming months, for the coming years, and if you do that, you can keep money in your pocket to reinvest rather than just give it to Uncle Sam. To strategically set up tracking chaotic income, I would say keep track of it yourself or maybe just check with your employer. I know a lot of times at the end of the night or at the end of the week, you actually get information, you get your write-up showing how much you actually made. It's not that hard to keep track of everything, but I do recommend doing it at least once or twice a month. If you try and do it all at once at the end of the year, it's going to be that much more chaotic. When it comes to my services, I've been in customer service pretty much all my life. I'm very transparent, very straightforward, and I'm all about knowledge as well. I'm not going to be someone that's going to reach out to you once a year and say, just send me your tax documents. To me, that's not beneficial. It's not going to be helpful. So when it comes to my services that I provide, You will get a one-on-one consultation. Any question that you may or may not have, I would love to answer it for you. If I do not know the answer, I've got a plethora of individuals and colleagues that I reference as well. So I will tell you that I don't know, but I'll be able to find the answer for you.